I notice this thing doesn't have the time of day, does it? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna call this meeting to order. Roll call.
Carla here.
Jerry here.
Karen here.
Kathy here.
John here.
And I get a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it. Carla.
Jerry, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, aye.
John, aye.
Get a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second. Carla.
Jerry, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, aye.
John, aye.
Okay, C2 Commercial District Permitted Uses, public hearing. Notice is hereby given that the City Council of the City of Peosta, Iowa will conduct a public hearing on Tuesday, July 24th, 2018 at 6 o'clock in the council chambers of the Peosta Community Center. The purpose of the hearing is to consider an amendment to the zoning ordinance by adding a permitted use of contractor shops to the C2 General Commercial District. At said time and place, all interested parties will be given an opportunity to be heard for or against the proposed zoning amendment.
I guess when I ask questions.
What you said. I mean, you said commercial and you said an area, but is that by my house?
Yeah, it'd be south of
This
your
is
house.
just for the general, changing the ordinance,
Yeah,
Oh,
the zoning ordinance, correct?
But you have a say on that if you want to, because it's, contractor shops weren't included, although you had manufacturing, housing, and you had a lot of other big things that were already in C2, and they wanted to get that included. This is the hearing to change it to that, but they want the ordinance so that it includes that. So if you got something to say, you can say it now, too. You don't know what they're doing either. You-
but it's already zoned commercial, isn't it?
Part of it is.
Part of it is, which part?
The lower half towards 20.
Oh,
Um,
And the upper,
And the
right
others,
along First Road.
so, two sides.
so I just wondered, like, you know, all those houses that are being built, those new houses that are being built, did they realize that was gonna be commercial when they bought those places?
I don't know.
On the other side of Cox Springs, you mean?
Yeah, on the alley or whatever
This was published. If they, wanted to say something about it, they could come to this.
This isn't the hearing for that though. This is just to add the C2, add the contractor shops to C2. Not the hearing for that rezoning of that property.
Okay.
So I guess what you're saying is they're just adding this contractor shop.
no, just adding, well, yes, the contractors, that part of it into the zoning ordinance. It's not approving any kind of building going up or anything like that.
It's changing the ordinance to allow for that kind of, yeah.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Carla.
Jerry, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, aye.
John, aye.
Okay, ordinance incorporating changes into the zoning ordinance of the City of Peosta, Iowa. What's the number on that, Karen? 2018 dash. Ordinance 2018-03, an ordinance incorporating changes into the zoning ordinance of the city of Peosta, Iowa.
So it's basically adding contractor shop to the general C2?
Yes.
I guess I don't see any major deviances of what's already in there, do you?
No.
I'll make a motion for ordinance 2018-03, an ordinance incorporating changes into the zoning ordinance of the city of Peosta, Iowa.
The first reading.
The first reading.
I'll second.
Carla, aye.
Jerry, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, aye.
John, aye.
Okay. Amendment to future land use
Do you
map.
want to keep moving forward with the second and third, or how do you want to handle that?
Do you just wanna,
I don't see need to keep, can we just pass a waive the readings?
You can for the second and third, and then adopt if that's what you so choose.
I don't have a problem with it, you guys. I'll make a motion to waive the second and third reading.
I'll second.
Carla, aye.
Jerry, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, aye.
John, aye.
And then adopt.
I'll make a motion to adopt.
I'll second.
Carla, aye.
Jerry, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, aye.
John, aye.
okay, public hearing, future land use map. Notice hereby given the City Council of the City of Peosta, Iowa will conduct a public hearing on amendments of future land use 2045 map. Said map is on file at City Hall and available for public inspection. We'll open the public hearing on that.
This is for both sections.
This is more to what you were asking about before on this one, the future land use map. So, I don't know, Gary, if you could expand on, she was asking, before you walked in, she was asking questions about what your plans were with that area by Cox Springs and.
Yeah, well, it's whatever fits in your C2 commercial. You know, I just asked to have the construction shops moved into that and whatever's in C2 commercial.
There's not gonna be any big businesses or nothing like that, so.
There's a chance there could be some traffic there, you know. Because of, you know, people that are putting, what they plan on putting in there, but it all fits in C2. Like I said before, it's all along Birds Road, and part of what's on Cox Springs Road is already commercial. What's south of our property line is already commercial. We're just incorporating the other 40 acres.
Yeah, I was just trying to answer her question for her.
So then, are they going to close off Cox Springs eventually, like with commercial there? Where's all the big truck traffic?
So the future DOT map and the way the roundabouts, not the roundabout, the exchanges are, is gonna be an exchange on and off ramp at Thunder Hills. And then that would hopefully get us a frontage road to come down into that to Cox Springs. But I don't know when that's gonna be. It was 20 years, 25 years. So right now, it would just be off Cox Springs and back up on 20 there.
Because I agree with Gary, the traffic will be probably more. Right now, it's bad enough. I mean, we almost need a stoplight out there in that road because the traffic coming through isn't doing 35, and there's a lot of kids and people waiting in line to see. And
Are you on Birds or
we're
where?
on the corner.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Aren't we supposed to put those safety lights up there too? Weren't we doing it for both?
Yeah, is there not safe stoplight LEDs on that?
There are the solar panels that have the speed shield on it. So it'll tell you what your speed is and what the speed limit is, and it'll blink during school zone hours.
Where will it be located though?
One that will be located on Cox Springs Road.
One will be?
Or two.
That might
Either
help.
direction, and then as well as on Birds Road.
It might help a little for a stopgap. I don't know about the long run, but
Are they gonna be installed like from the crest of the hill there, north of Cox Springs, and somewhere down there on the,
Okay.
equal distances from Birds Road?
Currently, there are some speed limit signs that are posted already.
Yeah,
They'll be
it's gonna be where they are?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was almost gonna ask the council to put ripple strips in there.
So with the businesses that you're anticipating going in there, you're anticipating higher traffic?
Not from the, not from the shops, the construction part, but if it develops to some recreational business, there gonna be more traffic, particularly in the summertime.
And do you have plans on how that's going to be coming in and out of either Birds or?
Yeah, I have a concept plan on that drawn up that the mayor has seen, but, and the zoning commission has seen. But as of tonight, that concept is changing. So, you know, it's fluid yet. Where those there's going to be two roads coming in off of Cox Springs, and possibly one off of Birch Road, where they'd be able to enter this property.
Are they gonna be connected to go through your area or whatever?
One of them will be. Two of them possibly, they could possibly all be connected, but the original concept had them all connected, and now we're redeveloping it.
So the road coming off of Birds Road, will that be close to their property or down the road further? Or?
The way the concept has it, it'll be straight out from Amara,
Oh,
which is
down further.
just west of the exit for the Seton School. The other one, I can tell you one of the other entrances to the property will be lining up with the road that runs between Cox Springs Road and Thunder Hills Road.
Okay.
well, this is for the future land use map to change it to agree with the C2 commercial. Oh, I guess we should, I'll make a motion to close public hearing.
All right. No more questions, I'll second.
Caroline?
Jerry, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy?
John?
Okay, resolution amending the future land use map, 2045 Walter property. What's the resolution number in that, Karen?
2018-37.
Resolution 2018-37, a resolution amending the future land use map 2045.
motion for resolution 2018-37, a resolution amending the future land use map 2045.
I'll second. Carla, aye.
Terry, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, aye.
John, I.
Okay, resolution 2018-38, resolution amending the future land use map 2045 Birds Family Investment Properties.
Which one are we at?
4C,
Pardon?
4C.
Future land use map? So all we need to do is make a motion to change it? Is that right?
That resolution, and that's for the property that we were just had a public hearing on, that there was discussion on over there along Birds Road and Cox Road.
That property.
So what do we need?
I'll make a motion for resolution 2018-38, a resolution amending the future land use 2045.
I'll second.
Carla, aye.
Terry, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, aye.
John, I.
Okay. Willis Welter rezoning, public hearing. We'll open the public hearing. Notice hereby given that the City Council of the City of Peosta, Iowa will conduct a public hearing on Tuesday, July 24, 2018 at 6 o'clock p.m. Council Chambers at Peosta Community Center. Purpose of the hearing is to consider an amendment to the zoning ordinance rezoning the following property owned by Donald W. and Shirley C. Welter from R1 to C2.
Does the council have any more questions for us at all, or?
No. I mean, the redesign pretty much should take care of most of the issues, hopefully.
Yeah,
You know, with the people that built the house behind you.
yeah, we stopped and talked to John in Providence.
Did they like that design better?
Yeah, he was more worried about his look through past the fan building there and not seeing anything that way. That's what he was more worried about than anything.
So he's happy with the redesign, the way you guys got it?
Yep.
That's good, because they're really the only ones that were
Yeah.
worried or concerned with it.
Make a motion to close public hearing?
I'll second.
Carla, aye.
Terry, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, aye.
John, I.
Okay. Ordinance 2018-04. An ordinance incorporating changes into the zoning ordinance of the City of Peosta, Iowa.
I'll make a motion for change of ordinance 2018-04.
I'll second.
Carla, aye.
Terry, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, aye.
John, I.
Jerry, you seconded that, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Industrial Park Road construction
The
project.
second, third readings, or how you want to
Oh,
handle that?
I'm sorry.
Might as well.
Waive the second, third.
I'll make a motion to waive the second and third reading.
I'll second.
Carla,
Jerry, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, I.
John,
Okay, Public Works. Pardon?
Adopt.
Make a motion to adopt.
I'll second.
Carla,
Jerry, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, I. John, I.
Okay, now, Public Works. Industrial Park Road construction project west of Bodine Electric parking lot.
So what's the question tonight? Do we want bids? Is that it? Are we supposed to?
How are you moving forward?
So the 150 to 180,000, that's just gravel, right?
Yes.
Crushed stone,
And no,
Dirt work.
just dirt work.
and no storm sewer.
No storms.
And this is high up on the timeline, right? They gotta have this to get back there and start doing stuff.
Right, that's something's gotta be done.
So,
If I remember where we were last time, though, we were trying to decide whether we had to bid it out or not. What did we decide?
it's, I think the dollar, yeah. it
It's
has to-
over the threshold.
Is it ready to be bid? I mean, is this IIW report good enough for everybody that's gotta do it? As far as materials list and all that?
Larry, what did Jim say about that?
Pardon me?
What did Jim have to say about that?
What did you say,
Is it
Jerry?
ready to be bid off of their report?
I believe it is, yeah.
You said it's above the threshold, has to be bid out.
Yes.
I think that's the next logical step, right?
Yep.
Mhm. I think,
Do you need a motion to send it out to bid?
For sure.
I'll make a motion to set this up for bid.
I'll second.
Carla,
Jerry, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, I.
and you have some notes there on how to pay for that, which funds you want to use. Any comments on that?
Can we take it out of the sewer project? Are we able to take it out of the sewer project or add it to the sewer project?
We'll add it to the total, you mean? Yeah.
I thought there was some paperwork on that, wasn't there? Somewhere. Didn't you have some different amounts and departments somewhere here? The same.
I gave you fund balances, ending fund balances at the end of fiscal year 19.
Do what I'm doing.
This thing is not my friend.
It's okay. It will be. Just give it a chance. That's right.
Look what you did to me.
Just log in. There. You should have it saved.
Go ahead and go on without me. This might take a minute.
It's not saved.
No, it isn't saved. It don't save on mine. I did something wrong to it.
So we need to decide tonight as far as where it's coming out of, or?
No, just need to be thinking about it.
Right.
But if we can add it to the total of the wastewater treatment, that'd be my direction. I mean, it's gonna be a huge bill anyway.
That's what I thought. If we can hold off paying it for that long now,
You won't be able
That's
to do
right.
that.
it should be working now.
What's that, Karen?
Safe
You won't be able to hold off payment.
You know,
Where?
next time you log in, hit save password.
Well, don't lose it. Thank you. The only other thing would have been to combine road use and something else, either local option sales, was it, or else, not street reserves. I'm not even gonna look for the numbers again, I'll lose the whole works. But if we can tie it into the wastewater treatment facility, if we can afford to pull out of that for the time being,
Well, or local option sales tax and street reserves.
let's use
Split it
that.
maybe. So let's see how the bids come in.
Right.
You got it there.
No, don't do anything with it. There it is. Well, what about, do we have that local option sales tax money earmarked for something else? Did we?
Not as far as I'm aware.
We're talking 2019 here, right?
What's a street, so street reserves make sense, right?
What's that?
It's gonna be a street, so street reserves make
But
sense.
it should be out of road use, not street reserves. Street reserves are residential.
You pull a little bit out of road use and a little out of street, and a little out of local option. Kind of spread it. But like I said, we should just see what they come back as far as bids and then go down that road.
Okay.
See what we're officially talking about first.
And hopefully it's a lot lower.
We good on that? Bids for pickup replacement.
The bids for the pickup replacement, I apologize. I got the price for a new truck, they never got me the price for the trade-in yet. So I have to hold off on that yet.
And which truck, is it 12? You'd be trading in a
The
12?
12, the oldest one,
How many miles are on that one?
probably 38,000. Something like that roughly, just pulling out of my head. I would speculate it's gonna be near the price of the last truck I got to be traded in. It'd be something like that, but I don't know for sure. And he was supposed to get back to me to go on, and he never did.
So we table that?
I would say.
I'll make a motion to table the pickup truck replacement.
I'll second.
Karen, I.
Jerry, aye.
Karen and I.
Kathy, I.
Jenna.
Brush hog for skid loader.
So I gave you guys a price for the brush hog for the skid loader at the last meeting. I was under the assumption the $600 option was included in the price. It was not. So instead of taking that $600 off, the price was as is. So that brush hog was $5,400, not $4,800. So that's why I came back tonight, because I'm gonna find out if you wanna go with a different one. The one from Sherman's was $49.59 for the similar thing, and one from Raiders was $49.50 for a similar thing. Raiders takes a month to get in, Sherman's has it on hand if we wanna buy it from them. They're all three similar, same thing to me.
So the Sherman one doesn't have any bells and whistles that the Dyersville one did?
No, the one from Dyersville has bells and whistles, but you gotta add all that on to the 5,400. And the way it sounds, the bells and whistles you don't need.
And Sherman's got it in hand, right?
Sherman's has it sitting there. And the way it was sounding, Todd said that they want to get in there and get looking at that sooner than later, apparently, you know, them ditches.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not wait a month for their one from Raiders, if that's what you want to do.
$9, you get it now, or you wait.
That's kind of my thought. And Bobcat brand stuff's very reliable in my experience, so
Warranty, same, all that.
it's all pretty much the same one.
It's $150 more than we.
Yeah, I apologize for bringing this back to you guys. I thought I had it worked out just the way I talked to them. That's what it sounded like, but I was mistaken.
I'm alright with going with Sherman. $49.50.
I'll second it.
Cheerio and Karen.
Yeah.
Carla Day.
Jerry, aye.
Karen, aye.
Kathy, aye.
John,
Okay, Keep Iowa Beautiful Kelly Oaks Park Tree Service Update. Todd?
All right, I didn't print anything off for you guys, but I'll just give you a quick rundown on the numbers. So Keith Klaesner is done with the first, what I would say, the original estimate that we had of $25,000 for tree removal and tree cleanup. The final cost there was $24,675. So it's actually $325 under what the approved amount was. It was $610 over his estimated. What that basically meant was we had a few more trees that we squeezed in there under the $25,000 amount. So unfortunately, the day after he pulled out, we lost 2 trees in the park. So we'll have to get in there and clean those up now. We suspected some of this would happen. We opened the canopy up a little bit. The winds came in. That's what happens. So,
is that stuff you can clean up?
there's probably a few that we can cut down. The oak tree that got the top taken out of it, we can probably follow that one. We'll have to have someone come in and clean the stumps up. But I've got another thing that I'll follow up on that I want to discuss. I think we're going to have more tree removal for the creek stabilization. I'll talk about that here in the end. I think we can incorporate a couple of the other trees that have had damage in the storm with that quote. So just an update on that. On the creek side, I want to give the council kind of more of an ongoing discussion on what's happening in the park. So I'm not coming to the council every week with, oh, I've got this. So I kind of want to give you a heads up what's going on. So this is more of just a heads up. 3 of us met, myself, Jesse Bagley, and Dean Ludwig met with basically the city of Dubuque. They had a Fleximat meeting on Friday to discuss the product that they kind of want to use or look at using in our park. And I guess to kind of advance that conversation, it is approved. It's going to be 100% funded. That is going to be kind of a showpiece for them to basically bring other local organizations around to see it because they want to use more of it in the area. So I think that's partially why they're pushing it. I'm not exactly sure, but it's a good project for us because of the water velocity that's coming off of Armacourt and Mila. They're really excited about using it. So they're going to bring the Fleximat wrap in after the NRCS engineer does the full design. So that's part of the deal. The process is they've got to do the design. They'll submit the design to the Catfish Creek people to get approval, and then we'll have to go out for quotes. They have to go back to get approved to pay that amount. They pay it 100% now. The one thing that does not include the creek off of Armacourt down towards the tracks, there's a significant amount of washout that looks like we're probably going to have to fill that in a little bit and probably compact that. So any dirt that they have to bring in that they can't rob from the park, that does not get included in any of these programs, and any tree removal. So when I say tree removal, I know everybody gets a little bit nervous, so I want to clear that up. There's probably, I want to say at the most, 10 trees on each of the creeks that are going to have to come out. Now we're going to selectively harvest those, meaning there's some cherry trees that are very narrow. We're going to take those. but there's 2 big oak trees that we're gonna leave those. The Flex-Mat can go around those. But any small trees, there's no reason to cut that mat and go around those. They're scrub trees to begin with, there's no reason to keep them. So be more than glad to meet anybody up there to kind of discuss that proposed design. So with that being said, tree removal and dirt are 2 things that don't get covered under the 100%. So that would be on the city to take care of that. So that's where I was getting at. I'm gonna have to have Kleesner come in and re-quote that. So I am gonna meet with the NRCS engineer. When he shoots basically the land, I'll kind of want to get an idea what the trees are. We'll mark them. Kleesner come in and give us a quote. I'll bring that quote into you guys. The intent would be to try to get that done this fall yet, so they're ready for early spring, so we can go through the quoting process and get the engineers in early spring to actually put the Flex-Mat in. So we'll only be slightly behind our proposed schedule. We wanted to have it done by winter, but the reason we were bumping it to spring is because, I apologize, I didn't print this off, but you guys can hand this around. This is kind of what the mat looks like when it's installed. The pictures on the right-hand side of the pamphlet show what it'll look like down the road. Basically, the city will be able to mow that. So it's just a concrete grid. It's got seed in it, so that's why we don't want to put it down until early spring. So then about 4 years down the road, you won't see the concrete, and then we can run a mower right through that ditch. So we won't change, we're not going to change the grade. You know, some people would take riprap and make a steep slope. We're actually making it to where it's more easily to get through with a mower.
So will this run all the way up to where the water's coming out of the drain pipes?
So that's the other phase. The extension of the drain pipe, that's on us. They don't cover that. They kind of thought, why don't we run the mat all the way up to that? Myself and Jesse kind of said no. And I talking to Dean, we said no, because that's the one area that we could get any truck traffic. If we need to get back into the park, it'd be the one area. They claim you can drive over that, but we didn't want to have to deal with that. So we still feel we got to put the concrete pipe in. So Dean has given me a rough estimate on that. I actually applied for a grant for the tree removal and the storm sewer extension. We did get that grant. That grant was in the tune of roughly $6,400. So that'll help a little bit on that project. Dean was thinking around the 10.5 and 12.5 range to do that 100 foot, I think it was like 100 or 120 foot extension with poly pipe, about a 4 foot drop or 6 foot drop off of the current Army Court. So we have to get going on that. I got to talk to Dean. Dean wasn't able to meet with us yesterday, but I'm going to try to meet with him either later this week or early next week to kind of see where the phases of that extension are, because we kind of need to get that laid in with the engineer so they know where to start the Flex-Mat after that. Any questions on that Flex-Mat? I kind of threw that on you, but that's
Other than mowing, is there anything maintenance on it? Or?
no. Other than the mowing, no. The projects we did see video. They had running water going over it, and didn't. You know, granted, if it's installed correctly, that's the whole reason we want the Flex-Mat rep here, because we know it's going to be a high water velocity. We want them here to kind of sign off on it. That's a stake down mat that you drive the large rebar stakes in and secure it to the ground. So it looks promising. It looks a lot better than the riprap, which you saw videos of the riprap kind of going away over time and then slowly eroding the land. This just kind of stays put and low maintenance on our end. So that's that. The last portion is the concrete for the disc golf. So we are, unfortunately, we're backed up because of the weather we've had. We didn't get the trees out till late, so I'm kind of at the nth hour to get the concrete pads done before Peosta Days on August 25th, I believe is the date. The original estimate that we got approved was for $2,900 in concrete. That was given my estimate, not a contractor, my estimate of basically $280 a hole for the 4x10 pad of concrete, and roughly $380 to put all the secure the posts and the baskets. Looks like that quote's probably going to be low. I did get another quote. I received a quote this morning. I met with Aaron Birds in the park, and I did receive a quote from him. So what I need to do now is probably get an estimate on a couple quotes, because this quote came in at $6,800 for the concrete, $6,875. Did give Aaron the time frame, which is a very short time frame, so you can imagine how busy contractors are. This may be the dollar amount we're going to get when we want such a short time frame.
This is installed, right?
So this would be this includes the labor, materials, his equipment, 8 inches of compacted base, because they asked to put compacted base down. This is 5 inches of 4,000 psi concrete with a 1/2 inch rebar grid inside of it. I know this sounds like overkill for these pads. You talk to any disc golf player, a lot of them are just going off the ground. This was a discussion we had a long time ago with Pat, basically trying to keep the maintenance level down. If we do just the ground, it's just going to be a mud pit over time. So we just said, let's do it right and do the concrete and kind of be done with it. So that's the approach we've taken. The disc golf company, Dynamics Discs out of Kansas, kind of recommended that this was what they do for a no maintenance approach. So that was the approach we took. Unfortunately, my estimate was a little on the low side. I did talk to Dean Ludwig on this one, and Matt, in regards to potentially seeing about maybe having the city do some of the work. You know, that's an option too. But I guess what I'm trying to come for, I don't know if we can approve a $6,875 bid, but put that as a cap, kind of like we did as a cap on the tree removal. But I need to go out for quotes to figure out if I can get somewhere closer to the 2,900 too. And talking to Aaron, he felt like he could do it, but I don't know. So I'm going to have to go out and get a couple other quotes anyways, just in case he can't get in there.
He didn't know if he could get it in there by the time frame?
He thought he could, but I haven't talked to him since I got the quote. I got the quote this morning, so he's pretty busy.
We've already approved $2,900.
Yeah, the 29 was approved. That was approved. I did not write the date down.
Back in March when the disc golf was.
Yeah, we're running out of time. I mean, if you want to use that as a cap, and go down from there, hopefully.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you're gonna be able to find anybody to get it done.
I don't think I got 2 other people I've been told to talk to get estimates from, which I'm on the type. I just kind of want to get it done, but I can get another quote if I need to. The one thing I did find out yesterday, there is one pad of the 9 pads we're probably going to have to hold off on, because the flex mat's going to go right through it. So we're going to move that hole probably 30 feet to the west, just set it up the hill a little ways, move the hole in the basket, which is no big deal. It was in a bad spot to begin with, so we were planning on trying to move that one. But I may try to move that myself and just send the disc golf course the new coordinate systems for it and be done with it.
That $6,400 grant, would that go towards this or not?
That grant money, you can kind of use it. I wrote it in as tree removal, creek stabilization. I don't know where that comes in at. Now the original one that I got I got $1,400 for the original one. I think that was actually for the disc golf. So we did get $1,400 on that one already.
And that's not spoken for.
That's not spoken for. So we just wrote the check for $6,500 for the equipment. I think it was 68 or 65.
Whatever that total was.
I think it was like 68 something. We wrote the check for that, so our $1,400 can go towards that already.
It can go towards this.
What's
You
that?
said it can go towards this.
That or the concrete, yeah.
And was there anything that the city was gonna be able to do to help this along, or no? Did you say you asked?
I just briefly talked to them. It's all a matter of what they have coming up. You know, if they have city issues that come up, obviously that's gonna take precedence over. So I'm cautious of
If we get some decent weather, we
volunteering.
might be able to get them dug out and get them
Yeah.
rocked. I mean, if we get decent weather, we can get them out of there.
Yeah. Cautious of volunteering.
That could also push things back if something comes up.
Yeah.
If they got pulled off of it, but
Yeah.
if they had time and were able
Yeah.
to.
That's where I'm cautious of volunteering or saying that, because if we
Right.
have some major storm that comes through,
Yeah,
granted, if we have a major storm that comes through, I'd worry about, I don't think we have to worry about this call anyways right now. So,
If you had a couple more months to work with, you'd probably be able to get a couple more quotes, but your problem is we're getting down to the wire.
yeah,
Down
and
there.
this was the deadline for our group to try to, you know, the park unfortunately has been sitting for so many years. We kind of just, this was the way to push ourselves, and I think it's been a good goal. I think everybody works better when there's a date. So if we can drive to it, I'd say drive to it. So I still have them lined up to come in on the 24th, Dynamics Disc to sell discs, but if for some reason this falls and we can't get it installed in time, I can call that off. So we're not paying for that service. That's a free service from them. So I guess what I'm asking for is a max of on concrete at 68.75 to not exceed, and then I'll work either with Aaron or other people to get that to a lesser value, or have to stay at that price.
We should have plenty for the parks, shouldn't we?
yeah.
We put in 100,000 for this fiscal year, so yes, I think so.
And the 14 could go towards it too, if he's got that, so.
So I did talk to Aaron briefly about having the city do some of the work and then having him do the rest, but like any contractor, that's not always a favorable thing, because if they don't do it the way you would do it, I mean, put yourselves in Aaron's shoes. If something happens to the concrete, well, I didn't pack the base. I get that, so.
Well, and we're given pretty tight timeline too to get it in there and get it
Yeah.
done. So he's probably pushing another workout maybe.
Yeah, because I was planning on having I was planning on having 2 months before, but with all the rain we got, that kept Kleesner out of the park. And he was out for a week with poison ivy. That's the reason we've sprayed weeds. So he was covered head to toe. So.
I guess I have no problem. Having a cap of 68.75.
We're gonna have it ready for Peosta Days, 25th.
So we need a motion, or? I'll make a motion to approve the estimate for the concrete work at a cap of 68.75.
I'll second it.
Carla,
Jerry, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, I.
John?
Thanks, Todd. Other business and correspondence, free TIF training, ECIA. Karen?
Anybody interested in going to that besides me?
I'm going.
I'm gonna go.
Go me to RSVP for you?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Do they have any of those outside of business hours?
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll
Like
do
Saturdays?
evening trainings, but a lot of these are during, yeah. It will be good. I will guarantee you it will be good.
I'll look at my schedule.
What's that?
I'll look at my schedule and email you.
Okay.
Okay, citizen comment? Anybody else got anything? Karen?
You got the open house. Ready in, sales and service.
Ribbon cutting's at 10.
Yeah, is there gonna be, we able to do something? Like, are you working? A couple of us be able to attend for the ribbon cutting.
Yeah.
Was it 10?
It's Friday at 10.
Are there any road closings on Thursday?
Probably.
Nicole, is there anything you can share on that? Not at this time.
You got the fair going on too, there's gonna be a lot of traffic.
If we have information, we can share on the police Facebook page and the city Facebook page. That's probably, they don't give us a lot of information ahead of time.
We're not gonna have a whole lot until maybe tomorrow in the evening, if we get anything at that point. But there's always contingency plans, so most of what we're going to do for blocking roadways will be on a need-to-know basis as it comes through. I don't estimate that it would be for an extended period of time, more than, say, a couple, literally for the motorcade to come through. After that, everything will open up. So it won't be any permanent closure on any of the roadways in Peosta while the event's going on. Everything will open back up.
It's scheduled for 11, right?
10:30.
10:30. It's probably not gonna last that long, I wouldn't think.
I don't think it will.
So,
You're right at the time that lunch break is going on and people are leaving the factories to go to the subway and stuff.
it does get busy.
I'm sure the timing will be spot on for that.
Guaranteed.
In my past experience, it's gone very quickly. Once they get going for road closures, it doesn't last very long at all.
Yeah, Obama came through and I think it was just more people staying alongside the road than the actual motorcade, so it was pretty smooth. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Gary, aye.
Karen, I.
Kathy, I.
We're adjourned.